So I'm going to start by asking myself a few questions, which is kind of a bit weird, isn't it, really? So how did I learn all about textiles? Well, I kind of started straight from school, actually, and went over to college and studied surface pattern design and did that for 4 years. And I've been studying design ever since for the last 30 years. It takes a lot of time to build up industry experience. I'm a passionate and inquisitive creative, and I seek practical knowledge. And I don't know whether that's kind of a bit of I need to understand and I need to know how everything works. I'm just naturally curious, and I think that's what's been fueling my kind of addiction to technology all of these years too. In fact, early on in my career, I actually took a few years out of the design industry and went into the computer industry because I was just so curious as to what was happening. And here, gosh, that would have been very late 80s, early 90s, so kind of just on the cusp of Photoshop and AVA, actually, really. So yeah, I've been really addicted to CAD and everything CAD-CAM for a very long time. Innovation is so important in our industry. And if I could give you a top tip there in your working lives, wherever you might be, whether you're at the beginning or you're established in this industry, I think, if you're established, you'll agree with me that finding a mentor is really important. Listen to your peers, connect with your peers and learn from them. That's so important, to connect and to ask questions. Always be over enthusiastic as well, and demand explanations, and give everything your best shot, because it pays off in the long run. Sometimes it might feel like a bit of a slog, but it really does pay off in the long run. So yeah, seek out your mentors and make sure you learn as much as you can from them. Where did my design journey begin? Well, I was really lucky in that I started my production journey and design journey in vertical manufacturing here in Manchester, one of the big mills, which was then part of Coates Viella. And I worked in the Dormer bed linen studio as a designer. And what was great about that was it was a totally vertical environment. So I would design and create and produce using analog technology. But from the design stage, we would take the designs to the buyers. So we would actually be selling designs and coming up with creative concepts, etc. But then we'd track them all the way through the mill. And that really gave me a very deep understanding of print. And an understanding from a design perspective too, in that, you can design in difficult moments for the supply chain later on, really. And you have to be very wary of that as a commercial print designer too. So yeah, that's where my journey began, almost, over 30 years ago now, actually. And I was very lucky to have that initial training. So if you ever come across any opportunities to work in the industry, actually in a commercial manufacturing environment, I really would encourage you to try and do that. Or if you're right at the beginning of your career, try and get an internship into a manufacturing plant, because you're just going to learn so much in that environment. And the truth is, over the last 30 years, I've never stopped learning. And time has passed fast, and there are so many innovations going on. Nothing stays the same forever. And you can get ahead online and look at e-learning. It's a key tool. Even when you can't get access to live manufacturing experience, it's great now, isn't it? There are so many videos online and so many tutorials and so many ways, if you have the drive, to make sure that you learn the skills of your trade. And it's so important to invest your time wisely and build these skills. There's a shortage of knowledge and a shortage of trained CAD-CAM designers worldwide. So every minute you spend learning is an investment in your own future. So take that time now, it will pay off. Believe me, it really will. Another question for myself: why are designers so powerful? Well, often you might not feel very powerful, but believe me, you really are. Because great products begin with good design. Designers hold a golden key, and your skills are invaluable and often unappreciated. But we have to get used to that and we have to rise above it. And remember, criticism is good. Design is art at the end of the day, and it's subjective. So we're always going to get criticised as designers, so we have to toughen up to that, I think, really. It's part of the creative process. You put your heart out there when you create a piece of work, and it is going to get criticised. So it's just part of the day job, really. But the important thing to remember as a designer too is that poor design is the biggest factor in waste. So you have incredible power at your fingertips. And in textile design, that can be as simple as a bad layout, inefficient repeat, or poor colour distribution. Always design with an end product front of mind and take responsibility for what you are creating. If I had to explain it, it's like cooking, isn't it, really? A proven recipe never fails, so always be meticulous and never cut corners, and importantly, follow your instincts. Stay current, find your vibe, seek out your chosen community, and be inspired by every experience and every industry practitioner you come across. Stay ahead of the news, keep there. New technology is changing all of the time. Things are changing so fast in our industry. Also, I would say, track successful designers as well and learn from them. They can be your mentors, whether they're physical or virtual. And importantly, again, apply your skills responsibly and make an impact and change the future.